hope the sound is okay, and for this video I'm going to be doing the Black Murderers Row fights in order, all of them they had up against each other. I was curious about which fight was first and which fight was last, when the first meet, when did it all kick off, so I just decided to do this video this month. I'm going to be listing all the fights, who won them, and I'll be showing the record at the time, but I won't be saying the record because I'm going to be here for a while. And at the end I will show you their records up against each other. The first meeting the Black Murderers Row ever had was Coca Kid versus Holman Williams on the 13th of March 1936, and Coca Kid won the fight by mutual decision. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams had their second meeting on the 17th of April 1936, and Coca Kid won again, so that's 2-0 to Coca Kid in their fight series. And then they fight again for the third time on the 12th of March 1937, and this time Holman Williams won on points, making it 2-1 to Coca Kid. Then they had their fourth fight on the 11th of June 1937, which Coca Kid won on points, making their series 3-1 to Coca Kid. I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep track of what the score is on this. Then Coca Kid and Charlie Burley had their first fight on the 22nd of August 1938, and Burley won the fight by unanimous decision. And Eddie Booker and Holman Williams had their first fight on the 25th of January 1939, and this is the first draw the Black Murderers Row ever had. Then Coca Kid and Eddie Booker had their only fight on the 9th of March 1939, and Coca Kid won the fight on points. Then Charlie Burley had their first of 7 fights on the 1st of December 1939, and Holman Williams won the fight on points. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams had their 5th fight on the 11th of January 1940, and Coca Kid won by unanimous decision, making the series 4-1 to Coca Kid. Then Charlie Burley had a fight with Jimmy Bivens on the 1st of September 1940. This is one of only 2 appearances Jimmy Bivens will make, and Bivens won the fight by unanimous decision. In just his 15th fight, he beat Charlie Burley. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams have their 6th fight on the 22nd of December 1941, and this time it was ruled a draw, making it 4-1 to Coca Kid. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams had their 7th fight on the 19th of January 1942, and Holman Williams won the fight this time by unanimous decision, making the series 4-2-1 to Coca Kid. Then Charlie Burley and Holman Williams had their second meeting on the 26th of February 1942, and Burley won the fight by unanimous decision. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams had their 8th fight on the 2nd of March 1942, and this time Coca Kid won by unanimous decision, and this makes the series 5-2-1 to Coca Kid, I believe. Then they had their 9th fight on the 27th of March 1942, and Coca Kid won again, and I've lost track of what the score is, but Coca Kid won the fight in points, and he's well ahead. Then Charlie Burley and Holman Williams had their 3rd fight on the 23rd of June 1942, and Burley won the fight on points. Then Charlie Burley and Holman Williams had their 4th fight on the 14th of August 1942, and Burley won the fight by TKO in round 9. So it's a rare KO in this in all the Black Murderers Row fights, actually. Didn't knock each other out that often. And Lloyd Marshall and Eddie Booker had their only fight on the 20th of September 1942, and Eddie Booker won the fight on points. Then Charlie Burley and Holman Williams had their 5th fight on the 16th of October 1942, and Williams won the fight by unanimous decision. Then Charlie Burley and Lloyd Marshall had their only fight on the 11th of December 1942, and Lloyd Marshall won the fight by split decision. Then Jack Chase had his first fight against a member of the Black Murderers Row on the 11th of January 1943, and Chase won the fight on points. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams have their 10th fight on the 15th of January 1943, and Coca Kid won the fight on points. I don't know what the score is in this, but I know Coca Kid is well ahead by now. And Charlie Burley and Jack Chase had their first fight on the 19th of February 1943, and Burley won by unanimous decision. And Burley and Aaron Wade had their first fight on the 3rd of March 1943, and Burley won the fight on points. And Coca Kid and Charlie Burley had their second fight on the 19th of April 1943, and this time it was ruled a draw on points. Then Charlie Burley and Holman Williams had their 6th fight on the 14th of May 1943, and this time it was ruled a no contest due to inactivity after 1 minute of the 10th round, and this is the only no contest that the Black Murderers Row ever had up against each other. Then Jimmy Bivens fights Lloyd Marshall on the 8th of June 1943, making his last appearance up against another member of the Black Murderers Row, and he won the fight by KO in round 13. Then Jack Chase has his first fight with Aaron Wade on the 21st of June 1943, and Chase won the fight on points. Then Lloyd Marshall and Holman Williams have their first fight on the 3rd of September 1943, and Williams won the fight on points. Then Jack Chase and Lloyd Marshall have their first fight on the 8th of November 1943, and this time it was ruled a draw on points. And Eddie Booker and Holman Williams have their second fight the 19th of November 1943, and this time Holman Williams wins the fight on points. Then Jack Chase and Lloyd Marshall have their second fight on the 13th of December 1943, and this time Jack Chase wins by unanimous decision. And Jack Chase and Holman Williams have their first fight on the 7th of February 1944, and Williams won the fight on points. Then immediately 14 days later they have their second fight on the 21st of February 1944, and Williams wins again on points. And Eddie Booker and Holman Williams have their third fight on the 6th of March 1944, and Eddie Booker wins their third fight on points. Then Charlie Burley and Aaron Wade have their second fight on the 24th of March 1944, and Burley wins the fight on points. And Charlie Burley and Jack Chase have their second fight on the 6th of April 1944, and Burley won the fight by KO in round 9. One of those rare KOs that they had up against each other. And Jack Chase goes in for a third fight with Holman Williams on the 27th of April 1944, and Williams, for the third time in their 3 fights that they've had so far, wins on points. And then almost a month later they fight for the 4th time on the 24th of May 1944, and for the 4th time Williams wins on points. Then Lloyd Marshall and Holman Williams have their second fight on the 7th of June 1944, and Marshall won the fight on points. Then Jack Chase and Aaron Wade had their second fight on the 28th of June 1944, and Chase won the fight by TKO in round 10. Then Lloyd Marshall and Holman Williams had their third fight on the 11th of July 1944, and Williams won the fight by mutual decision. Then Jack Chase and Aaron Wade had their third fight on the 9th of August 1944, and this fight was ruled a draw on points. Then Charlie Burley and Jack Chase had their third fight on the 11th of September 1944, and Burley won the fight by TKO in round 12. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams have their 11th fight after a long break from each other on the 15th of September 1944, and this time it was ruled a draw on points. Then Jack Chase and Lloyd Marshall have their third fight on the 30th of September 1944, and Lloyd Marshall won the fight by unanimous decision. Then Aaron Wade and Holman Williams have their first fight the 11th of October 1944, and Williams won on points. Then Coca Kid and Jack Chase have their only fight on the 20th of October 1944, and Coca Kid wins by unanimous decision. Then Coca Kid and Aaron Wade have their only fight on the 13th of November 1944, and Aaron Wade wins this fight on points. Has Aaron Wade won a fight up to this point against a member of the Black Murderers Row? I don't think he has. Then Coca Killiams? What the hell am I saying? Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams have their 12th fight on the 26th of March 1945, and Coca Kid wins by split decision. Then Coca Kid and Holman Williams have their 13th and final fight on the 14th of May 1945, and Holman Williams wins by unanimous decision. Then Charlie Burley and Holman Williams have their 7th and final fight on the 11th of July 1945, and Holman Williams wins this fight by unanimous decision, which split their series even, 3 wins, 3 losses, and 1 no contest each. Then Bert the Tail has his first fight against a member of the Black Murderers Row on the 17th of August 1945, and this time it was ruled a draw on points. Then Bert the Tail and Holman Williams have their second fight on the 31st of August 1945, and Williams won the fight on points. Then Charlie Burley and Aaron Wade have their third fight on the 20th of August 1945, and Burley won the fight by unanimous decision. Then Bert the Tail and Aaron Wade have their only fight on the 1st of October 1945, and Aaron Wade wins by split decision. Then Aaron Wade and Holman Williams have their second fight on the 4th of February 1946, and Holman Williams wins by KO in round 4, which is his only KO up against a member of the Black Murderers Row. Then Coca Kid and Bert the Tail have their first fight on the 25th of March 1946, and Bert the Tail wins the fight on points. Then Bert the Tail and Holman Williams have their third fight on the 15th of April 1946, and Bert the Tail won by unanimous decision. Then Coca Kid and Bert the Tail had their second fight on the 30th of July 1946, and Bert the Tail won the fight on points. Then Charlie Burley and Bert the Tail had their first fight on the 5th of August 1946, and Burley won the fight by unanimous decision. Then they had their second fight not soon after on the 17th of February 1947, and this time Bert the Tail won by unanimous decision. Then Coca Kid and Bert the Tale have their third fight on the 18th of May 1947, and Bert the Tale wins by RTD in round 6. Another one of the rare KOs against each other. Then Bert the Tale have their fourth fight on the 4th of July 1947, and Bert the Tale wins the fight by unanimous decision. And I believe this is the last fight that the Black Murderers Row ever had against each other. It was. And here are their final records against each other. Burley finished with 11 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 3 KOs, and 1 no contest. Coleman Williams finishes with far more fights than everyone else, with 17 wins, 15 losses, 3 draws, and 1 KO, with 1 no contest. Coca Kid finishes with a record of 10 wins, 8 losses, 3 draws, with no KOs. Jack Chase finishes with a record of 4 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws, and 1 KO. Bert the Tale finishes with a record of 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, with 1 KO. Aaron Wade finishes with a record of 2 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, with no KOs. Lloyd Marshall finishes with a record of 2 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw, with no KOs. Eddie Booker finishes with a record of 2 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw, with no KOs. And Jimmy Bibbins finishes with a record of 2 wins, no loss, no draws, and 1 KO. And that's the video.